I think one of the least talked about things so far this season is what the Bills have done to their offense. There's no doubt Josh Allen is a top 5 quarterback with a top 5 personality and leadership to go along with it. And from where he was as a rookie, which was a project with terrible ball control and accuracy problems, he quite literally turned into exactly what every coach, player, and fan hopes they can find in a quarterback. His fumbling can still be an issue, but he fixed his accuracy, and his superhuman arm makes him second to none. He's one of the most efficient running QBs in the league too. The Bills got all of it. They took a swing on one of the rawest first-round QBs ever, and they got everything they could have hoped for. But there's a chance that they can ruin it. There's a timer on Josh Allen's career, and it's ticking. Not that it can't be stopped. I'm not saying that that's the end-all, be-all for him and the Bills, but right now, it's the reality. Or at least it was before the season started. And why is that, you ask? Well, Josh Allen's ability is unfortunately turning into a liability, and not in the way that you think. His rushing is going to wear him out before he could hit 30. But if you look at the title of this video, I said that the Bills have fixed themselves, which is true, at least for these first 4 weeks. Depending on when this video comes out, maybe the first 5. But the Bills have done this before. They look to be balancing out the run and the pass well, and then they have games like week 1 where Allen is trying to do way too much and no pressure is being taken off of him. After week 1 though, it's been looking pretty good. James Cook ran for 90 plus yards for 2 straight weeks, which a Bills running back hasn't done since Josh Allen has even been there. I think Shady may have done it in 2018, but I'm not sure. But nonetheless, as of right now, the Bills seem to have fixed their rushing problem and have established a new commitment to what used to be an afterthought in their offense. However, in order to shift perspective and put context into the situation and show how if the Bills are going to get to where they want to be, they have to run the ball, I have to go over just how bad the Bills were and could still be at running the ball, and how that affects Josh Allen's career and the team as a whole. So bear with me. This is going to be in the perspective of the years past and not necessarily in the present moment because, like I said, they look to be fixing the problem. I know this might be slightly confusing. Allen being the focal point of the offense is how it should be. He's physically capable of more, so he should do more. Kind of like Mahomes. I get it. The Chiefs do the same thing, so what's the problem? The problem isn't that some games Josh Allen throws 40 times and rushes another 10. The problem is they do it in games where that shit just isn't gonna slide. You ever wonder why they can't beat teams like Kansas City and Cincinnati when it matters most, aka the playoffs? Because the Bengals have Mixon, Chase, Higgins, Boyd, and the Chiefs have pretty much just Kelsey, but they use every blade of grass, every player, and every formation / concept they can get their hands on to open things up. In Buffalo, all they have sometimes, most importantly in the biggest games, is Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs. Outside of that, they just aren't that deep. However, that can be fixed. But the Bills refuse to use the run game, as in running the ball with the running backs, as a way to win games. If you look at team rush attempts per game last year, the Bills rank middle of the pack at 26.4 per game. But if you take Josh Allen's rushing attempts per game and take that out of the equation, it falls to 19.1, which is good for dead last. And in the 8 playoff games that Josh Allen and Sean McDermott have played in together, the most rush yards a players had was 92 and 88 yards, both by Josh Allen in games they lost. You straight up can't be a team that refuses to adapt. As the saying goes, adapt or die, and in the NFL, you better fucking believe that goes a long way. You either make like Andy Reid, John Harbaugh, Kyle Shanahan, or you might as well kiss your chances goodbye. The Bills refuse to change, and it's on Sean McDermott. I don't want it to be that black and white, but for the sake of simplifying things, he's the one running the show, and he has to realize that he's going to run his QB right into the ground. The NFL stands for not for long, and I can promise you one play, one injury can change everything. Carson Wentz was never the same, and that was more of circumstance, but someone like Lamar Jackson, who hasn't been able to stay on the field for 2 years, has a similar situation in Baltimore, where he runs a lot. I do want to recognize one thing, and why I'm pointing out specifically Josh Allen and not other guys who run like Lamar, Fields, Hurts, etc. If you watch guys like Lamar, even though he's gotten hurt, he runs like a guy who wants to keep his career going for as long as he can. Josh Allen runs like he's immortal. There's a big difference. So even though I can say I know at the end of the day it's the coach's job to do what's best for the team and players, Josh Allen is also playing as if he doesn't run the ball and throw his body into the fire every game, that they won't be good enough to win. Here's another way to put the Bills' rushing attack in perspective. Since 2021, the Bills have had a 100-yard rusher not named Josh Allen only twice. In the 6 regular season losses in 2021, the leading rushers goes as follows: Singletary 72 yards, Singletary 27 yards, Allen 50 yards, Breida 51 yards, Allen 39 yards, and Allen 109 yards. Reminder, those are in the 6 regular season losses in 2021. In the 3 regular season losses in 2022, the leading rushers goes as follows: Allen 47, Allen 86, Allen 84. And to be fair, it also doesn't seem too bad to go 11-6 and 14-3 and make the playoffs for 4 straight years and have one of the best fan bases. But it could be so much better if they had running backs they knew could carry the load and were able to say to them, okay, this is your game now. Go win us the game. This is your drive. Put the team on your back for the 4th quarter and run this game out. The one thing I can say though is that if there was ever a year where that could change, it's this year. I think, more importantly, I want to think, James Cook can be that guy. He definitely looks like the most talented running back the Bills have had in a while. Buffalo also went out and got Damian Harris in the offseason, who should without a doubt be taking the majority of carries in the red zone. No more running Josh Allen into brick walls every game because you refuse to trust your running backs. Damian Harris is one of the best finishers at the position, and it would be almost astronomically stupid for the Bills to not use that to their advantage as much as they can. This is straight up the best backfield Josh Allen has had since he's been on the team, and I'm not just saying that for the sake of this video. So as much as this is me frustrated with the Bills because they could be so much better than they already are, this is also a nod to them for finally taking a step in the right direction to fix the issue. This isn't anti-Bills. I happen to really like the Bills and their front office and Josh Allen, but as an avid NFL fan who hates watching teams shoot themselves in the dick, I can't stand watching the Bills straight up refuse to trust their running backs and lose games they easily could have won like they did last year. There's no guarantee that Buffalo will focus on a more run-heavy offense continuously throughout the season just because they got new running backs. I'm holding out hope. The Bills can do a huge favor for Josh Allen this year and in years ahead. Take what you have with Damian Harris and James Cook and use that to make everything on the offense easier and less predictable. A Bills offense where RBs can go for 10 plus carries each game and make an impact late in the game to run out the clock is an offense we've yet to see as long as Allen's been there. That goes back to what I mentioned before about not being afraid to change, exploring new ways to keep defenses on their heels and respect every blade of grass. Once again, that's what makes coaches like Andy Reid, Kyle Shanahan, and Mike McDaniel feared geniuses. I don't think teams play with any fear in them when they face Buffalo, at least the good teams. You saw some teams last year look like they completely forgot how to play football when they played the Eagles. I know the Eagles use Jalen Hurts as their do-it-all QB just like Buffalo does with Josh Allen, but the difference is the Eagles use their running backs, all of them, a lot. The system they run is designed to build off of the run, and using your QB in that is okay as long as he has guys he can rely on in the backfield to take some of the load off, which is something Josh Allen has yet to experience. Back to the whole fear narrative, we saw Miami go into Buffalo with Skylar Thompson and damn near beat them. It was so much closer than it should have been, and Cincinnati just did whatever they wanted in the divisional round. The Bills might as well have played their backups the whole game. Josh Allen's completion percentage in both of those games was 59%, which is really bad. It's hard to point the finger at the quarterback because if it's not him that's going to do everything, it won't be anyone else. The most yards by a running back versus Miami was 48 by Singletary, and versus Cincinnati, it was 25 by Singletary. So now we know the Bills have the potential to do things different and finally live up to the expectations. And as of week 2 and beyond, they've been sort of doing that. It's not easy being a really good team sometimes because flaws can stick out like a sore thumb, and it's easier to depict why things are going wrong when they do go wrong. People, fans, and analysts will rip you for it. So I'm not going to sit here and say it can be fixed overnight or that it'll be super easy, but I am saying that it shouldn't be the hardest thing either. Josh Allen is a generational talent. His arm strength is second to none, and he's a physical freak that can make plays other players can only dream to make. I understand why using him the way the Bills use him seems like the best option, but I promise you long term, it's not. If they can continue to put good performances on the ground with Cook and Harris, that's one step forward. Like I said, they've done it for 2-3 games, but that isn't enough. They have to at least try to make it happen every game, at least show that you're putting an effort in the run game. It doesn't have to be great, but almost anything is better than what we've seen before. The Bills have come so close the past 3 years, and they can be right back in the mix and probably will be in 2023, but they have an issue that needs solving. The workload and brutal hits that come with it that your precious QB is taking have to stop. It just has to stop. I don't know how they'll look later on in the year and in the playoffs. I don't know how they'll choose to continue to fix the problem, but just find a way, because Josh Allen's NFL career may very well depend on it.